All right, let's get on to episode 6. Are you ready?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Should I change the brightness on my screen? Is my skin color bothering you? Is it too pale?
Okay. So episode 6, and it opens up with Wes and Evan hanging out. Wes has a guitar, Evan has a laptop, and Wes is just complaining about Johanna. It's like, oh my gosh, spite is the only way that she's gonna beat me in exile, right? But right away, I'm like, Wes with a guitar. He's playing something. Evan, he's probably DJing the shit on the laptop. They're gonna form a band, and it's gonna be called We Seven. That's the only thing I came up with. Where, like, when I was writing everything down, I'm like, a band, and they got to put their names together. That's all I got.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what the fuck We Seven stands for, but yeah, Wes and Evan. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a Vess.
A vest,
Yeah.
Evanescence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would buy that album. Although at the time I probably could have downloaded it for free on LimeWire or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's the way to
Back
go.
in 2006. Yeah. Okay, so we have a costume party, man. Katie and Big Easy, they're the trailer trash. I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions, but they're like wee and like missing teeth and shit. And I think Katie's got like a black eye.
I don't remember the black guy.
You remember that? Oh my gosh, it
No.
was awesome. And then Tanya shows up in just like lingerie, smeared lipstick, and like a bottle of Jack. She's like, ah. And Coral's like, she won the costume, but at the same time, she wore the same thing the other night.
Yeah. She's embellishing her character where it's like a pro wrestling gimmick, where she's just taking her personality traits and amplifying them up to 10.
What is it? K-Fab? Is that what it
Kayfabe.
is? K-Fab, yeah. But she was K-Fab, as in fabulous. Yeah, there you go. But Johnny's concerned. He's like, she's fucking unraveling. He's like, as far as her running her mouth, she hasn't been doing that, but she's been like constantly drunk and just like, yeah. And I do feel bad for Johnny. I think he's kind of underutilized, undershown, much like Aviv. Not a lot of them. Okay, so this is a nice little moment here because Johanna's like, she's talking to Evan. She's like, I'm not even gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna forgive him, even if he comes up to me and says he's sorry. Like even if, and that's when Evan is like, "Are you serious? No, swallow your pride. Like fix this. Just go. It'll work out." So she does. She talks to Wes and they make up basically. But it's that moment where I'm like, God damn it. Evan always had those moments of like just being a genuine good guy. He has some douchebag moments. He has many different things, many different angles to him. But he does have those moments where he's like, I wish I could like talk to you about girls. You know what I mean? Like remember when Adam King was talking to him about hooking up with Jen? Remember
Yeah.
that on Rivals, where he's like, "I'm telling you, man, like we're gonna be married and shit." And Evan's like, "Oh, really? This is gonna be Facebook official, huh?" Shit like that. Like, I don't know. He just seems like a cool dude to talk to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Evan is a cool guy, and I don't know, he's a lot like Derek, where like one on one, like I really like them, but once you take them and you put them around other guys, like Derek and Evan are the same. Once they're surrounded by other guys, then there's just like this weird frat boy mentality comes out. And like it's like Derek every time he's gonna vote for someone, he's just like, well, I gotta go with the crowd here, I don't wanna go out on my own, do anything, he'll just go along with whatever plan, you know. I feel like Evan was kind of that way too.
Yeah, um, it is hard to discuss Evan without thinking, should we address the future? We already talked about. Tanya. Yeah. I don't know, it gets muddy as soon as I recognize that, like, oh my god, Evan had that little moment. I'm like, Evan used to be my favorites. Like my top three were Wes, Evan, and Evelyn. You know, or no, it was no, I had four: Wes, Evelyn, Abram, and Evan. Yeah, and I slowly started to
Yeah.
erase Evan from the
It was no
list.
longer a top four, it was top three.
Yeah, but it's like it's kind of like Marlon Brando and Woody Allen to me. Like I like their shit, but like if you know what they've done, you're like, do you separate the art from the artist? Do you separate the challenge from the challenger, Dave? Is the question. Mm.
I mean, yeah, even as a challenger, Evan did plenty of stupid shit over the years. Like in the later years where he's just throw me in, I can take him out, and then just fail miserably.
Um, okay, let's get into the. Oh no, real quick, Johanna and Wes makeup. Any thoughts about that? Did you?
I mean, it was just it reminded me of like a typical like 21-year-old relationship where, you know, I feel like if that shit happens when you're like 35, you're angry about it and you're bitter about it for like weeks or at least days. But with like Johanna and Wes, it's just like, yeah, they get in a huge fight, but then they go back to the house and they're like, well, it's easier to just make up. So yeah, we see them like in the bed under the covers, like tickling each other and laughing, and the next thing you know, yeah, we're back together. It's just like, oh, okay, makeup sex, good job.
Let's get into the mission of the day, and this is the pardon mission. So Wes and Johanna, they need to win this. So you gotta like you're in your skimpies, you're in your
Your skivvies.
whatever skivvies. Cover yourself in oatmeal. You got 2 minutes to do this, and if you win, with the most weight, you win a gizmondo.
The hell is a gizmondo?
No, I think it's a phone. It looked like a phone.
Maybe it's an
I don't
MP3
know.
player.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't know.
2006. I don't know. But a gizmondo. I'm not going to turn a gizmondo down. Coral and Evan get to decide the order, and this is a little moment here where Evan's like, "I want to give Wes and Casey a break. I don't want to put them first." And Coral's like, "I gave them plenty of breaks." And Coral's like, "We're basically good cop, bad cop. And Coral is definitely more like kind of cold to just like, no, we're gonna vote him in. Sorry, I'll do it to your
Hmm.
face. We'll vote you in. You know what I mean? And Evan's like, oh, because
Yeah.
he's Canadian. Aren't Canadians like super nice and shit?
Yeah.
um, so I have only a few things written down when it comes to the actual challenge. Do you have any memories? Anything that stands out?
I just thought it was awesome. I really liked it. I thought it was super weird when TJ is like, all right, you have to carry the rolled oats over there. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, just call it oatmeal. What the fuck?
Why oatmeal? Is this a strictly Australian thing? Do they go crazy for their oatmeal over there?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Maybe because, I'm sure they got it relatively cheap. If they're able to get how many like 20-pound bags of oatmeal did they get?
Yeah, what?
Especially when you add up all the weights that they were able to carry, like that was a lot of oatmeal.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder if they just dumped that oatmeal into, they just used that oatmeal, kept refilling it. I don't know. Um, but I do like oatmeal.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It reminded me a little bit of the one where they have like the honey all over themselves and they have to run across and they have to scrape the honey off of them into the bucket.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, that was a little more like hypersexualized because of the honey and the stickiness. And then you have like partners and you're trying to get the honey off of them. But this was
Excellent.
like the
Yeah.
precursor to that. And I liked it. It was people had to try and get inventive on how to do it. Like the girls had an advantage, like Coral, because she's got, a big top shelf to put all the oatmeal on.
That was the great part where she's like, I got these big oatmeal carrying titties or whatever. She's like, Evan, look at him. And he's like, yeah, I was trying to dance around that subject, but if you just want to spell it out,
Yeah.
that was awesome. And speaking of creativity, Darrell has Aviv just lie in it, and he covers her with oatmeal, but he tries to pick her up.
Yeah. She's like a big serving tray, and he just piles up the oatmeal, picks her up.
Yeah. And if I was Darrell, I'd be like, no, I know this isn't going to work. I just want to carry Aviv, sprinkle some raisins and some cinnamon on her, and then just count. Tanya and Theo and Shonda, when they go, Shonda has this awesome moment at the buzzer. She has oatmeal and she jumps, throws it in, and leaps over. It was cool. I liked that. Those who put in a little extra shit, like some people. I think Johanna just kind of was like, she didn't even run when the buzzer was about to thing. She was just carrying it, and Jesse ran forward and threw. Just trying to do something. Right there is a good example of how Johanna just doesn't try. She really does. She's probably one of the worst ones to ever be crowned champion.
Yeah, perhaps. There was also a guy who just did horribly. I don't remember what guy it was, but he would pick up the oatmeal in like one hand, have a handful of it, and then he would just let go of it and pick up another handful. And then he'd like look down as if he was gonna put it in a pocket, and then he would just drop it on the ground and pick up more. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like at least make a cradle with your arm and try and, do that move.
Yeah, I think that was Johnny. They ended up getting last. We do have another tie where Derek and Diem and Johanna and Jesse get 5th place, I guess. Darrell and Aviv get 4th. Shane and Lynette 3rd. And again, Shane, like he is a constant presence when it comes to these at least top 5 performances. He's always right there. But a surprising 2nd place is Katie and Big Easy. This is probably the best they've done this entire season so far. Why do you think? Did Big Easy just fucking...
He's got big old arms. I don't know. He's got a big top shelf or a second shelf.
Middle shelf, yeah.
It's a middle shelf, yeah.
But then, of course, Coral and Evan, they win first once again. Like, this is right away. I nominate them to be like one of the best pairings of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have Kenny and Laurel into that mix.
Yeah.
Evelyn and Paula, perhaps. But yeah, Evan and Coral is like a match made in heaven. I think he actually said that in the first episode. So let's get into the Exile. Oh my gosh, Dave, we're blazing through this thing, man.
Ugh. I feel like it's been at a crawl.
Yeah?
Yeah. Being weighed down by oatmeal.
God damn it. Okay, let's get into the Exile. Wes and Casey, okay with the weight, right? Wes, 56, Casey, 57. Johanna, 59. But what's up with Jesse coming in with 74?
How does someone amass that much weight? Like, if I took a week's worth of clothing, it's not that heavy. Like, I don't know. Is it maybe it's their suitcase?
For more than a week, though.
Well, yeah, but like you're really only gonna bring like a week's worth of stuff, and then you're gonna wash stuff. So like it has. Right. Is it their luggage containers? Is it maybe like their suitcase weighed 18 pounds empty?
Yeah, and they're like, "Why do these suitcases weigh so much? This is ridiculous." And they're wait, a secret hatch, fucking cocaine lined up and shit.
Yeah, but no, no, it's just gonna be bottles of shampoo or some shit. Just something like dense and heavy in there.
Well, okay, but I would love that though if you packed only 1 week's worth of clothes and you show up at the challenge and producers like this motherfucker's wearing the same clothes at like every 2 episodes he recycles back. So they probably tell you to like pack enough for a certain amount of episodes because you can't walk around wearing the same shit, Dave.
I don't know. On plenty of seasons, people are wearing the same shit, and then they like
Yeah, they're called jerseys.
no, but like who was it? Corey was wearing a shirt, and then he's borrowing it to Fessy, and sometimes you would see like Bananas wearing the same T-shirt. I don't remember what season it was, but maybe it wasn't Bananas, but like plenty of time. Like I only own like a week's worth of clothes, and I just rotate it basically. Maybe I own like 10 days worth of clothes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not throwing shade at you at all because like we started visually recording this podcast, and I'm like, I wear the same shit like constantly. You
Yeah,
know,
I have like
after a while, I'm like, oh, I wore this last episode. I got to think of some other color of t-shirt.
yeah, like I only have like 4 or 5 T-shirts that I wear on my day off, like just my lounging T-shirts. And then, yeah, once I'm done with those, then it's like, okay, today I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, which I almost never do. And I'm really fucking hot and I'm uncomfortable. And I want to be wearing one of my normal T-shirts.
I was thinking of making a shirt. I don't know if you could just order that and then they make a shirt and they send it to you. But I was like, I don't know, put fresh meat on there. That way I'll just wear this for the fuck.
Duration?
Duration. There you go. For
Okay.
the duration of the season. Yeah. Let's finish this episode before I
Okay.
can't pronounce any other
Oh my
words.
God. You know what? I actually have a challenge T-shirt and I just never wear it. I should actually wear it.
I think I knew that, right? Isn't it like a newer school, like Under Armour, right?
It's not. I don't think it's Under Armour. Like it's based off of an Under Armour one, but it's just like an off-brand. But it says the challenge, it says Dave on it. Then it has like the American flag. You know, like the Lies, Spies, and Allies, where it has like your flag on there.
Yeah.
I considered getting a Canadian flag just because a lot of my coworkers call me Canadian, but
So much for that Southern hospitality.
well, it's because they're like, you're from Wisconsin. That's basically Canada. And I'm like, well, not really. I'm like, then that means like Oklahoma is basically Mexico. Like,
Exactly. Hit him with that.
yeah.
And then see how friendly those Southerns will be. How dare you? All right. So 113 pounds versus 133 pounds for Johanna and Jesse. So basically, when it comes to that first checkpoint, I think they both decide to just say screw it afterwards. And they get going, right? But then Wes is like, oh my gosh, Casey, I forgot the flag. Go back and get it. And that's when he's like, keep going, you stupid bitch. Like, he just, like, all the credibility he's earned up until this point just goes out the window. It's like, God damn it, fuck you.
But
It's
wasn't
bad.
was he had all the weight, right? He had all the weight, and then she has no weight, and she's just like walking. She's not even jogging. It's like you're not carrying any weight. Move.
Well, that's what he should have said, but instead it was pronounced, God, move, you stupid bitch. Something was lost in translation there. So they go to the second checkpoint, and I think they decide to just screw it because, Wes and Casey, they get to the second checkpoint, and Casey's about to start working on it. And Wes is like, no, stop it. We're going to go. Look, they forgot both their flags.
Oh.
Yeah. So like 40 or 50 feet until they got to the finish line, Johanna and Jesse are like, hold on, do we have our flags? And they're like, no. And right then and there, they realize they're fucked.
Okay, so conspiracy theory Dave here. Did
Yeah.
Johanna like realize that they didn't have the flags and was just like, I'm not gonna say anything. This way Wes will win. Happy, happy wife, happy life. But it's, happy Wes, happy life.
Uh, um, well, that is interesting even because when they missed it, Jesse was like, I was wondering why they went back. So they were even there when Wes is like, oh my God, Casey, go back and get the flag. But they weren't paying attention enough. So I don't know. I don't know. Johanna is pretty bad. She is a really bad competitor. So maybe she did throw it. I don't know.
Yeah, might be giving her too much credit.
Um, but okay, so after that, they Wes and Casey win again, and that's where fucking Johanna and Casey tell Wes off. Johanna's like, "How would you like it if someone called your mom or daughter the B word? You know, she can't even say the word,
Yeah. She's never said that word before, Vince, ever.
um, and then so she's like, "You got to work on it," and Wes is like, "Maybe I won't." Maybe I will, or maybe I will, maybe I won't, or something like that. She's like, you will, or whatever. And Wes is he's such a douchebag. Like he's definitely changed for the better over the seasons. But
Yeah.
right, this is not the greatest showing for him.
No, the Wes's ability to admit when he's wrong, like he just did not have a bone in his body that was able to admit that he was wrong. Just admitting that he was being an asshole and he should have said something. Like he can't do it unless he's like forced to do it.
Um, so afterwards, after Johanna and Jesse take off, and by the way, um, bye Jesse. Like I thought you were cool. You're so far you're the only person to be eliminated from Fresh Meat that never returned. I mean, we've seen Ryan and we've seen Evelyn. For sure, we've seen Evelyn back, you know. So it does sort of suck. I didn't mind him, and I think that really does suck that he was with Johanna, you know.
Yeah, he wasn't the best, but being stuck
Yeah,
with
but
Johanna was.
yeah, regardless of the alliance, though, Johanna sucks. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so after Johanna and Jesse take off, then Casey's like bitching out West. She's like, you know what? I almost didn't want to try because it's like, what's the point? We're gonna come back and we're gonna get thrown in again because you keep pissing people off. And the whole time TJ's like sitting there listening, and oh my god, I would have been like, TJ, could you give us some space?
Yeah.
Will you give us the down under and get the fuck out of here? Like, goddamn, because he's like smirking, like, fucking
Yeah, he
stoned
was like
ass.
he's standing right there just like.
He's so annoying. I can't stand him. But they're blindfolded going back to the house, and Wes is like, okay, so I've realized that perhaps not pissing everyone off is the best thing for Casey here, and I got to respect her, and she doesn't deserve that and stuff. And I think, I might be wrong, but I think they do get better after this. Their relationship is just a little bit better after this. Both Johanna and Casey needed to fucking slap Wes around a little bit. And that, good sir, is the end of episode 6. So that was Fresh Meat 1. An episode drops every Monday.
Every
Like,
Monday?
subscribe, comment. Monday morning, like midnight.
Okay.
Sunday, yeah. And like, subscribe, comment. This was Battle of the Chances podcast with Fitz of Cloud.
And Hardcore Dave.